Felicia's back.
Yay!
Welcome back.
We missed you, girl.
Welcome back. Thanks.
Came back looking like a ray of rainbow sunshine.
Yes.
I feel like that.
You was glowing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's introduce ourselves real quick before we start up.
Go.
Hi, this is Ashley Chia. Oh, what?
Why have you been doing this? What?
I'm working on my tone because Codie didn't like my tune.
No, that is not the same thing.
Sure it is.
Language and tone are two different things.
Right.
Well, tell her that.
She be trolling me.
No, I
that doesn't
don't.
mean you need to introduce yourself weird every week.
What up, y'all?
Ashley literally has been a British woman. Yeah. A woman from the hood.
Yeah. And that was a Texas.
I have multiple
Columbus.
personalities.
We
What's
know.
up?
We know.
I'm never going to get through this. Hi, guys. It's Ashley Chia here. I am a mother of 4 beautiful daughters. They are 14, 7, 5, and 1 will be 2 in
Oh
a
my gosh,
week.
it's coming.
Crazy.
Oh my God. I'm going to cry. I want another baby. I'm
Oh my
losing my
God.
mind. I do. But thank God Chia got a vasectomy. I'm telling you right now, if he didn't, I would be pregnant
Are you
right
still
now.
counting his ejaculations?
Oh yeah, we're still using protection for sure. For sure. Chia's like, stop it, please. Stop trying to get pregnant.
You're on your way. I'm very excited though.
I know,
On her
but it
way
is
to getting
very
pregnant?
No, to protectionless
yeah.
sex. It's
and
very
also
important.
just like a new era of living. But I really want another baby.
Well, how about you look at the photos that you hate and that you yell at us all
I
the
would
time
never
about?
look like that again because I was going through something when I got pregnant the last time, which is why I was only had one big pregnancy, and because I was already overweight. But that would never happen again because I know it's wrong. It was my thyroid, so I would be a cute pregnant girl again.
Oh my God. Okay, well, I tried.
It's fine. It's not happening.
Hey, I'm Melanie. I'm mom of 2. Cameron, who is 7. Kaya, who is almost 2.
Hey.
That's all I got today.
Woo woo. But maybe later we'll have more.
Maybe later we'll have more.
I meant babies.
Oh, no.
Wait, I was like, she just tricked you into that whole thing.
Oh, no, ma'am. That shop is closed.
It could always be reopened.
Nope.
Okay.
Not on my watch. Not on my watch.
All right, Ayala.
All right.
I ain't having no more babies. That's with my husband, without my husband, and in his life. I'm not having no more babies. With anybody, I'm not having no more babies.
All
God
right,
bless.
this is
Love the ones I
Codie.
have.
I am a mama of 3.
Woo! Woo!
Just the 3. Just the 3.
I'm mama of 40 years.
Yeah.
Yay! Happy belated birthday, Codie!
Oh, that was good. That was
40,
good.
40, we in
Yes, I am
here.
a 40-year-old mother of 3.
Boom.
Okay, I have a 7-year-old Brooks, and I have twins named Aristotle and Langston, who we don't call twins or babies because we don't want to lump them together, and they should have their own personalities, and I'm working on it, who will be 5 very soon.
You know what? That was the most gentle parenting.
I know.
I really
Intro.
like that.
I'm really working on it.
Millennial
She's being
parent.
mindful. I like
yeah, that's fire.
Who is you,
That's
girl?
actually a really good idea. I'm Felicia. I have 2 children. Peace is 9, and Zen is 4. Why was I going to say 2? Nope. And yeah, that's all for now.
For now.
And she means that.
Yeah.
Yes. Friend, you were gone. Where'd you go?
I went to Thailand for 10 days.
Hey.
And you're lucky that I came back.
Listen, I know.
Yeah,
Thailand
I
is
was
special.
like, that place is different
Yeah.
in a good way.
What happened?
Well, wait. What took you there?
Yeah.
Like, how do we come to this?
Who took you there? What brought you to Thailand? and who?
My man.
My man. Thank you
So-
to my man.
Thank you to my man. I'm happy to see my man. My man took me.
We love it.
I have been wanting to go to Thailand for a long time. I don't know. When I saw photos and videos, I always felt so connected to it. Like the brightness, the water, when I say brightness, I mean vibrancy. I don't know. It's just like the boats, the art. And I was like, you know what? For my 33rd birthday, my Jesus year, I want to go here. So we did it. I booked it in COVID, but then all the flights got canceled.
Yeah.
And so, but I'm actually really happy I didn't do it that way and I did it this way
Yes.
because I didn't have to do a damn thing.
Oh, because
Yes.
he planned everything?
Yeah, he takes care of everything.
Okay, let me ask you about that. So, have you always been someone to release control like that? Or
Absolutely not.
Okay. So, what made you comfortable, or like, maybe what work did you do to be able to be like, okay, I'm gonna let him plan this and just trust the whole process?
I feel like, so I always, especially in dating, I didn't really feel comfortable with like a man taking care of everything, just because that's not what I saw until like later in life, when my mom got married. But I just feel like he has showed me that I can trust him, you know? But I've also learned to trust myself first. And I think that that was the thing for me to be able to allow others to show up and do the same. But I don't know, I just trust him.
But
and I've
also,
never trusted him.
Did he surprise you? It was a surprise.
Yeah, so it was a
Okay.
surprise. We went to, or he sent me a Amazon package. What are those things called when you go somewhere like out of the country for the other sockets? What is that?
The adapter.
The
adapter.
Yeah.
So he sent that in an Amazon package. And I was like, I know I didn't order nothing from Amazon. I'm like, what? And then I opened it and it was that, and it was a little note, and it was like, you're gonna need this for Thailand. Everything is booked and taken care of. Happy birthday.
Oh my God.
It's the thought for me.
It's the thought for me.
That's so sweet.
Get you a cancer.
Yeah, get you a cancer.
Yeah, you guys are
They're
thoughtful.
sensitive, but they're awesome. Oops, sorry.
That's a Scorpio talking.
Listen, we're gonna start bleeping. That's what's gonna happen. It's okay. Let it out. Let it out.
Yeah, it was so bomb. It was so. That was my first time in Asia.
Where did you guys go? What cities?
So first we went to Bangkok, which was cool. It's busy. It's different. The temples are beautiful. The people are so nice.
Yeah.
The people and the everything being so bright is like, I felt like I was like heaven on earth.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. Then we went to Phuket.
Yeah.
We went to one side, and then we took a 2-hour boat to go to the other side of Phuket, which was fire. But yeah, I need to go every single year.
How long was the trip altogether?
10 days.
And you just went to Phuket and Bangkok, or did
Yeah.
you guys go to any other islands?
Well, no, the other island, I forgot what it's called. It's like a 3.
Koh Phi Phi,
No, not Koh Phi Phi.
Koh Samui.
Okay, geography.
Yeah, it's
And pronunciations.
No, because I went.
Like,
It's a
something.
Oh, I didn't know
I'll
that.
look it up.
You went to
Koh
Thailand?
Tao.
No,
No.
no.
Wait, why do you? Okay, first
She's
of
just
all,
showing off now.
Yeah, what's you about to start speaking Thai in a minute? Like, what
Sawadee
the-
ka. Yeah. So one thing I remember.
Sawadee ka.
Sawadee ka. Yeah.
Wow. Wait, when did you go to Thailand?
I went to
Kapunta.
Thailand. Actually, Thailand was the first vacation that Jared and I actually took together when we first started dating.
Oh my
Jared-
God.
Yeah, Jared and I.
That's amazing.
We got so Jared and I met on an island. So we kind of had this like pact that we would consistently travel. So travel was a huge part of our relationship in the beginning. But I actually had gigs in it was New Year's. And so I had gigs in Japan too, one in Kyoto and one in Okinawa. And so I was like, you want to go to Japan and then pop over to Thailand? He was like, yup.
Fire.
So he came with me to my gigs, and then we went to Thailand, and we went to Chiang Mai, which is like inland. I love Chiang Mai. Chiang Mai was like the inland, that's like more temple. It's in the north, and that's where we rode elephants. That's a really special place, I think. And then we did Koh Samui and Koh Tao and Koh Phi Phi, which were the smaller islands. We didn't do Phuket. And then we ended off in Bangkok because we were living in New York at the time. So it was like New York and Bangkok, it's kind of like, it's action, it's lights, it's always, so we were like, we live in that. We don't need to experience that. So we only did that for a day.
You got to go back and go to Phuket.
But I did hear about, I know Phuket is like
crazy good.
It's beautiful, and I know that it's more touristy. And so we just decided to like explore the smaller islands. But I would go back to Thailand in a heartbeat. One, you can, first of all of us can eat for $30.
Girl.
Yeah.
Okay? Like to our heart's content.
We kept checking. I'm like, are you sure that's the right conversion rate?
Yes.
I'm like, what you mean all this food is $6?
Yes.
The most expensive thing is the flight.
Yes.
That's it.
Life over there was just so beautiful. And we went
felt like a
there,
queen.
had an amazing time, spiritual, all the things. And then differently, and then we came back and it was like, whoa, what did we just do? Because we got it was big. Like you take a trip like that with somebody you just start dating, you have to come back and be like, where do we go from here? What happens? So that was a funny time of relationship. But I had
Especially on that type of land.
Amazing time.
That's a good segue. But from the beginning, okay, that's a long time to be away from the children. How did you feel about that?
Oh yeah.
I feel, okay, this is actually very interesting. I texted you guys about when I was first, I forgot to tell you guys this. I'm so happy we're talking about it right now. Okay. So you got scared. So the first couple days, it was very difficult for me to be present. I was overthinking everything. And I think that it was just a very sensitive time in general. I feel like birthdays I'm very sensitive around. And then just a lot of changes on like in personal life. And then I was thinking, for some reason, I kept blaming it on like, I miss my kids. I miss my kids. But I felt like that's a part of it, but that wasn't the whole thing. And probably 4 days in when we went to Phuket, and Mel in the group chat was like, tap into the wisdom there. And I'm like, you know what? She's right. So I like prayed. And then I'm like, I need spirit, like I need you to come to me because I'm uncomfortable about something and I need to be aware of what it is so I can just like throw it up and enjoy myself. So something happened when we went to Phuket and I got like a massage. And butterflies just kept following me everywhere. The whole time we were there, like everywhere. And that's been me and God's like way of communicating in the physical. And I was laying there and I was like, oh, it's not the fact that I miss my children. I miss my children. But it was more of that I feel uncomfortable because I'm so used to always having to help or do. And it's something I've put on myself since like just childhood. And I always think that I've ridded myself of those things, but it's still very much ingrained in me. So it took me 4 days to actually adjust and enjoy and just be and be catered to. But that's why I was like, I literally felt like I was a queen when I was there because the way that they just take care of you and love you, like before you get a massage, you get your feet clean, you know, like they're just accommodating in a different way. And I felt like I was uncomfortable around it. But the more and more that I leaned into it, I felt like it was such a realization of like, no, this is what you deserve and you need to lean into it. So I prayed and cried again. And I was like, help me to enjoy the fruits of my labor because I've worked very hard on the outside, and internally. And I'm like, what a disservice if I'm not tapping into the things that I've worked so hard for, you know? So it was so from that point forward, I literally would just be listening to my little Christian music and we would be outside the whole time doing sports, playing with elephants, like all the things. It was a very spiritual trip, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was bomb.
Well, I have a question. When you get in those moments of like not knowing how to succumb, how does your partner handle that? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, or how do the two of you work through that? Because sometimes if someone's trying to cater to you and you're resistant to it, they could get annoyed. Yeah. They could get annoyed with that. So like, what is his process or what is your like, how do you guys work through those moments to get to like, okay, I'm going to release you know what I mean?
You know, one thing that I really appreciate about Brian is because he is also like, he's Cancer, so also emotional, also very like, you know, sensitive, compassionate. So when I'm having moments, because I was like feeling so overwhelmed, I was like, what is wrong with me? And I was getting upset at myself because I couldn't like calm myself down in that moment. So I was like, it's something big that's trying to like come out. But I just expressed to him and I'm like, I feel anxious. I don't know what it is. Like, I make sure that I use my words. And he's very much like, I don't know if I can say this. He's like, you want to smoke? I'm like, no, I'm trying to figure this out. It's always that, or I know what I need, so I ask. So I'll say like, I feel super anxious. Can you please just like come right here and pray with me? Aww. And so we'll just come together in prayer and he's always down for that. But anything that I need, he just, I don't know, he just supports what that is. I have to use my words. Yeah.
But it's good that you know how to articulate that so that he can then show up for you how you need him to.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Coming together in prayer, I feel like is the thing that helps me a lot. Like,
is he spiritual or?
Yeah.
Religious?
Yeah.
Religious?
I was talking to my sister about this the other day. Because I was like, I really want him to come to church with me one day, but I also understand that church is like everybody else, like everybody's walking how they connect, right? And then my mom was like, but what happens on the day that you don't want to go to church anymore, or you don't want to go like as often because it comes in seasons, right? And I'm like, yeah, you're right. She's like, so just keep on doing you and like you'll be fine. But then when I asked him, he was like, I don't really want to go, and I was like, and I totally understand and respect that.
Yeah.
But when I really think about it, it's like, the way that he shows up as a person and his heart and he's very much of God without, it don't have to be like a, you know, I'm like, it's the way that he moves that it's like, I don't like, I go to church to feed me. It feels good to be with people in that space, but I don't feel like, I have to go there because that's the only place where God is. I'm like, no, I like to fill up. I like community. I like singing my Christian and my gospel music. But he's just like, nah, I'm straight right here. But he's an amazing person. So I don't know. So he is, but like, he not running around, you know what I mean?
No,
like, if I'm
it's
making
good
sense.
that you recognize that. It's literally how Chia and I are. I mean, I listen to gospel music, you know, I'm Muslim, and I'm very spiritual. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Chia is not bookly spiritual. He grew up Buddhist, you know, and so for him it's like very much a lifestyle. Yeah. Like, this is just who I am, and I'm this way because I'm this way. I remember like when I first met him, I was like, what religion are you? You are just so calm and peaceful.
Buddhist, for sure.
Yes. And he was like, I'm Buddhist. He was like, but just to be clear, he was like, I was just raised that you do right because you're supposed to do right. Like, this is what you want out of the world. This is what you give to the world. But he literally has been to church one time. He's never been to the mosque with me, anything, but he has to be the one person that I feel like is a walking testimony of like God's love. Like, or of giving, exemplifying like what I believe a person that says they're Muslim, Christian, Jewish, whatever, that to me is what Chia is. Yeah. And I always feel like you should live in such a way that people ask what you are versus you announcing it. And then, do you know what I mean? Like, your life should be a living example of God without someone ever even, you don't even have to ever tell them your religion.
Yeah. I also feel like so I grew up Christian but I've always like read and studied other religions. I just feel like religion in general is just interesting to me. And I feel like the foundation of it it's all the same. It's like love, and it's just the avenue that you go down. But I feel like growing up Christian, they kind of tell you that like, oh, like when you go to church, you also need to make sure your partner goes to church too. But it's like, yeah, but you can go to church and you still like are not a good person. Exactly. Yeah. So my thing, so I had to really,
and also insert that covers all religions. So it's not just church. It's like everybody.
And it's like, I'm gonna eliminate this person from my life because they don't want to physically go to a church. I'm like, but look at how they show up. They show up better than the people that be in the church house, you know? So just like really, I really had to learn that and like come up with how do I feel? I'm like, I want to be more like you. Like, how do I be more like you? You know?
I only asked you that. It's good that you recognize that, because I think moving forward, or even getting married or raising children together, being able to appreciate the differences of your partner, I feel like that is like something I had to grow into versus like just trying to convert them to who you are. And like, in my mind, I used to get mad at Chia. Like, I want my husband to pray for our family. And I want him to be the spiritual leader of our family.
Because that's what you learn.
That's what I learned growing up. Like, you know what I mean? Or it would always be like the woman went to church and the husband never went. So I only saw those two examples. So at first I would get mad because I'm like, why isn't he praying for us? But also learning like, I really would get mad. I was like, you're blocking my blessings with God because you don't pray.
This is hilarious.
I feel though
this took a turn, but also when was this? For how long?
Our whole life until like 5 years ago that I realized that we don't realize that you get taught that the man is supposed to lead, right? But also no one ever talks about how like that could just be in one category. We don't realize in marriages and in any relationship that like you both lead in different areas, right?
And what does leadership look like?
Exactly. Like, I'm the spiritual leader of our family. And once I realized that is my role and took that on with pride and understood like, it's okay. Like, I'm going to be the one that prays. I'm the one that initiates prayer, seances in our family. No, we do seances. Like, seriously, we do family prayers. I make everybody stand around, hold their hands.
Yeah, girl. All that.
Yes, it's a full moon. Yes. I'm like, you don't remember that?
No, I do remember that.
We be doing all that stuff. I'll get out my crystals and I'm like, y'all, it's a full moon. Come on, the power of 4. I'll make the girls hold their hands because they're all a different element. I don't care if we work.
You are so cute.
Whatever it is, but Chia is never going to do that. He'll participate if I ask him to, and I also don't ask him to participate in stuff that I know makes him uncomfortable. Right?
Yeah, that part.
I'll just pray for us. He would just close his little eyes. I remember I used to make salat. He memorized the prayer, and sometimes he would make salat for our family, but I also was like, this is not how he leads. He leads us differently. He leads in finance.
He leads us to the bed.
He leads us to pregnancy. But no,
not lately. Sounds like you. But anyway,
so sad. But he leads us financially. He leads us spiritually in a different way. He is the one who teaches us to be calm in our family, how to deal with conflict in our family. So it was just important for me to be glad that you recognize that and to understand and have being comfortable, sometimes you just might be the spiritual leader of your family, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But I also want to throw out what I heard you say. Going back to the kids for a second, but mostly because obviously you did share that you were sad and missing them.
Yeah.
And it's really nice to hear how that changed for you, or how you were maybe that's not all of it, and really truly took the time and space to listen to yourself and figure out what it was, because I definitely relate to leaving them for any amount of time and being, just trying to be in the mix, trying to figure out what's going on, trying to take care of them from afar, or just trying to be worried or missing them. And so hearing you say that you took space to figure out what it really was, I think is helpful to me for sure. And then even sharing it with him in the way that I don't know what I'm feeling. I just know that something's not quite right.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that resonates with me.
Yeah. I'm very big on if you're going to be here, you have to understand that I'm very sensitive to energy. I just feel so deeply. Yeah. So it's important for me to be with someone that understands that and also doesn't try to make me feel oh, you're tripping, get over it, you know? So from the very beginning, I'll be I don't like that. I could feel this. I saw that. I'm just a seer. I don't know. Yeah.
But sometimes
Scorpio.
they don't get it though. Sometimes, I feel like I'm a deep feeler. I feel like Melanie is too. So I think we all are very deep feeling women. And sometimes our partners don't get it,
Yeah.
And I think that also, again, knowing your role in your relationship, I don't always lean to Chia to understand my deep feelings, because I know that that's not how he processes information.
Yeah.
I call Melanie.
Knowing where you could do that.
Yeah. And also appreciating your partner for who they are and knowing their capacity. Because when you expect something out of someone that can't give it to you, then you stop appreciating them.
And I think
you
it's insanity.
Yes.
Wait a minute. You should probably say that again.
I said, when you start expecting something from someone that they can't give you, you stop appreciating them. It's like trying to have a rational conversation with your children. At some point, it's only going to go but so
you're
far.
only good for nothing.
No, right. You don't understand me. But Chia, I know his spiritual, emotional limitations, and I literally will call Melanie, I'll call Codie, I'll call you, I call Nalo, but I just know that Chia in those moments is not going to give me the feeling that I need, because that's not how he taps into life. And so I don't expect that from him, so I can continue to love and appreciate him. But he put Christmas lights up. Do you know what I mean? You just appreciate them for what they do and leave it there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm sitting
I agree
with that, actually.
Yeah. It's hard because you want them to be everything, but it's not
But
gonna
also
happen.
I'm I don't know, the older I get, I'm I don't want you to understand me like my homegirls can understand me. I like that you can understand me here. I know where to go now.
Yeah.
That's why I'm always making sure you're having friends outside of just romantic relationship with your person.
Yeah.
I feel like it's very important. I'm because the advice that y'all will give me is probably not the same. He gonna be babe, it's not a big deal. But you guys are gonna be well, Felicia, remember when this
break it
happened
down.
and now it's presenting like this? And I need both ends.
Yeah,
Sometimes
for
I do
sure.
need to be sit your ass down. Okay.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Melanie, where are you right now?
Yeah,
I'm listening.
2 a.m. That's where she at.
Oh, that's right, you landed.
I'm just listening.
She just landed. You are like this.
Does someone have a question?
She
Because
is.
I don't know.
She
I
is.
really am just listening.
Yeah.
Sometimes it be like that where you're just soaking in perspective.
She's trying to stay awake.
No, I'm really listening. I really am.
Wait, I do have a question to go back to you for her. Wait, okay, so was this your first trip together?
No.
Okay.
No.
Because you said that you and Jared went to Thailand, your first big trip, and then you were like, where do we go from here? Did it
Where do we go from here? Relationship.
That's what I'm saying,
relationship
relationship or
wise? Well, relationship wise,
Japan's
wow,
next.
we're Thailand. But did you? Okay, so how did you guys figure that out? And then, because then I want you to tell me, do you feel that way as well? When you go on these big trips, is it pressuring your relationship to the next move?
Well, I think at that time it was. I think that was a big thing for us because it became very real. But at the same time, for me, it was nothing. Traveling was a part of my life. It's you could be there, you could not be there. If it could be you, it could be someone else, but it's you. So let's do this. We both can do it. And I love that we could enjoy that part together. But I think it was different. Now, to be honest, taking those trips really set a foundation, I think, for our relationship. I mean, we just got back from a trip, just the two of us, without the kids. Hallelujah.
Ooh, how long?
3 days. Oh. And it was perfect. Like, you know what I mean? But it really does always remind us of who we are and the foundation we set for ourselves in our relationship. Because we met on an island. We lived on an island, New York. And it was like, you know, our slogan through our relationship is from one island to another. That's what we always say to each other. So, you know, having that time, travel always kind of brings us back. And I think that that's really important. And I was talking to a girlfriend about that today, is that the time that you need with your partner uninterrupted from your kids and your regular life might take 4 days before you really get into a space where you're like, what do we talk about when we're not talking about the kids?
Yeah, sometimes you got thaw out.
What do we get thaw out? Yes. Right? Like what do we
life?
Yes. That's why you need 10 days.
She is
bringing up Mariah.
This Mariah Carey child.
Sometimes you just gotta thaw out.
But it's the truth. It's like you have to find the space and give yourself the time. Like, had your trip only been 7 days, you'd have had 4 days of needing to thaw, and then 3 days you'd be like, damn, I'm not ready to leave.
Yep.
That 10 days was actually really necessary. And I think that's really important for couples, for parents, is that you need to have time together, away from your kids.
Yes.
And we talked about this like last week's episode. You know, some people were just like, you know, you can't have other people raise your kids. And I was like, nobody else is raising my kids.
Yeah.
But do I create space for me to actually pour into myself with me and just my husband? Yes. Is that a necessary part of the sustainability of our marriage and relationship? 100%. Now, if it's not, and that's not the season you're in, that's also fine too.
Yeah.
But I know right now the season I'm in is, how do I need to pour into me? And how do me and my husband still continue to be each other's partners as well as parents? And I think when you have kids, it becomes about them. You know, everything becomes about them. We haven't even been alone in our home in years together. Like just me and Jerry.
Yeah,
because who's taking the kids without
by
us?
yourself in your house?
You know?
Oh my God.
Yes.
Oh my God, I don't even, damn.
Never happens.
You have homeschool kids. You have never been alone in your home. Listen,
This is
when your
deep.
kids go, yes,
Do you want them to
yes.
have a sleepover? I will host something. And they can all sleep in the living room. Like, I really,
We should do that for each other.
yeah.
It's
have
really,
enough
and you don't
room, too.
recognize how you do be on autopilot like that. It's like just
that's
alone
sad.
time away from your
I
job.
know, right? You create a house, you put stuff in it, you try to appreciate it, but they always running
They're
around.
always there.
And breaking
Yeah,
stuff.
and saying your name over and over
being
again.
loud. Wait, but you get to be alone, you, Felicia. How is that for you in your relationship? Because I feel like you're probably out of all of us have the most balanced life, which is crazy, where you actually get to be yourself and be a mom, then be yourself, be your mom. Do you feel, how does that help you in Brian's relationship?
But Fee has also shared the struggle
Yeah.
of having
True.
to turn that off even at home.
Yeah,
That's
it
right.
takes me. It's the same thing. It takes me like when they go with their dad. It's the same thing all the time. They go unless I have something planned. If work or Brian and I are going out of town. But if I'm like at home for that week, it takes me like 2 to 3 days to get it together. I cry the first night, I cry the next day, and then I can start to get in the swing of things. And then by the time they come back, I'm like, damn, I just get used to your ass being gone.
So wait, 1 week on, one week off.
Yeah.
And how long has that been going on?
That's been almost 2 years.
Really?
But
Wow.
it's taken time, like for sure. And honestly, because that co-parenting is such a unique situation, especially the way that we have our co-parenting design. It benefits both people. It benefits everybody.
Yeah.
And so having to go and enjoy, like their dad has always been really good at unplugging. He's just like he's like, I love
Men
my kids.
are very good
he's
at
like, I love my
unplugging.
kids,
They
but my
can
kids are,
compartmentalize.
he's like, I have a life and I'm a person outside of my children. That doesn't mean I don't miss them. That doesn't mean that I don't want to be their father, but like I have a life. And I always have to ask him every single week, if not every week, bi-weekly, I'll be like, what am I going to do? I'm going to Thailand. This is a real conversation. I was like, what am I going to do? I'm going to Thailand for 10 days. And like, I'm going to miss my kids. What am I going to do? And he was like, Felicia, go enjoy your boyfriend. Bye. And just hangs up the phone. I'm like, okay, you're right. But he's very much like, go be who you're supposed to be outside of being a mom. And I was like, I don't know how to do that. But he actually coaches me a lot in that space. And I'll express it to Brian. Like, let's say we went to Mexico one time. And the first 2 days I was crying. And he was like, what is wrong with you? And I was like, I miss my kids. And he was like, you'll see them next week, Felicia. I'm like, I called their dad and I was like, I really need you to help like talk me through this because I'm having a hard time again. But both of them are just like, girl, like we got it. Like everything's fine.
I'm like that too, though.
It's challenging.
Yeah.
I think I'm really just emotionally attached to my children. You guys know that already. I don't even want them to go to school away from me. So there's that.
Yes.
But I have a hard time. You know what's funny, Codie? One of your good friends came into town. You know how you know something for you and you tell other people to do it and you still struggle with it yourself? She was at your birthday party and she was saying how they were going to leave in the morning. She's like, I really want to go to brunch, but I have to leave in the morning. And I was like, but do you? And she was like, well, I got to go back and be a mom. And I was like, well, how often do you get to see Codie? And she was like, not enough.
Was it Allison? Was it long hair or braids?
No,
Tamara.
brown skin.
Tamara.
Your sister.
She's your line sister.
Your
Yes.
sister who's not your sister.
No,
I have a lot of those.
No,
It looks just like you.
No, not her. It wasn't
Kimberly.
her.
It was.
Was it Kimberly? No, it wasn't. No, Kimberly
she would
looks just like
definitely say
her.
that.
Maybe Kimberly said
No, it was Kimberly we were talking to.
No, she said that too, but it was another friend
okay.
that from the ones who were leaving and then they were joking before they walked out the door.
Yeah.
When you're talking about, okay,
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about? They got up to leave and you start talking about something else, and I was like,
Oh, Tam. Yes, Tam.
Okay,
So
yes.
they have 2 kids and they live in Charlotte.
Yes, and she was like, she changed. Anyways, I told her, I was like, listen, every time me and my husband go somewhere, we rush home.
Yeah.
We always plan like the first flight in the morning. We never think like, we went to Ohio for like 48 hours almost, but it might have been 38. We literally like, okay,
It was not
we'll
48.
leave at 3 a.m. It was not 48. We left at like 3 a.m. here. And then we had a meeting on Friday and it ended at 4 and we got like a 7 o'clock flight because we were like, we just had to
It
get
wasn't even 24 hours.
No, we were like, we have to just get home to our kids. And as soon as we got off the plane, we were like, we should have just left Saturday morning.
Do you do that or Chia does that?
Both of us.
Both of you?
He's like this too. He's like this too. You know what? Again, Chia leans to me for a lot of decision making. He kind of just goes with my feeling. He's okay with like, if I want to rush home, let's rush home. If I want to stay, then we'll stay. You know what I mean? He just doesn't
Happy
care.
wife, happy life. He's
How are
smart.
him and Brian the same person?
I don't know, but I told your friend, I was like, just stay. So she went to the brunch and she was like, I'm so glad you told me to stay. Like, I'm so glad I got to
That's
spend this
tight.
time with Codie and like, I'm glad that I stayed. And I just think that as a parent, you don't realize you're always glad that you stayed, but you feel so much guilt.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to get home, especially depending on who you're leaving your kids with.
Yeah.
That plays a huge role in your ability to release and let go and enjoy your trip.
I actually, when we came back, we came back late last night and I actually woke up this morning and I was so happy to hear Kaya be like, Mommy.
Aww.
And it was like, I got to miss my kids.
Yeah.
And that was like so eye-opening for me. And in the words of Ashley, riveting. because truly is, I think that break that you need sometimes is the thing that makes you reset and allow for you to have a more enjoyable experience,
Yeah, for sure.
Having
For like an hour.
And to enjoy them. Like,
sometimes
I actually
5
enjoy
minutes.
Yeah,
parenting
like this
you
morning
right
when I
now.
woke up, I was like, let's just cuddle in the bed. Okay, Cam, you're gonna be late for school. That's fine. Like,
that's cute.
And it was just nice to have that because, for the previous 2 days, girl, I slept till 2 p.m. on Sunday morning afternoon in New York. And I regret nothing.
Yeah.
And I would not have been able to do that had I been home. And I can tell you the last time I was able to do that.
Yeah.
Because even when I'm traveling for work. So I'm not able to sleep until 2. I got to get up and go somewhere and do something,
Yeah.
get on stage, sing, meet someone, do something, So those times I think is really necessary, even when they're uncomfortable.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
know, even when they're uncomfortable. Like I called one night, we were on the way back to the city, and I called, and my mother-in-law answered the phone. Kaya's screaming in the background. Cameron says he wants to throw up. I was like, you know what, guys? Gotta go. Gotta have the phone, because I was like, first of all, hearing all of this is giving me anxiety, and 2, there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah.
It's not my job right now.
Yeah.
They're with their grandparents and their auntie. Like, I gotta
figure
go.
it out.
Oh, I love a
Yeah.
gotta go. I mean, Peace has done that a couple times, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna have to talk to you later. I'm like, yeah, no, bye,
Bye.
Yeah, I'm
Daddy
not
got
ready
it,
for my
bye.
kids to have a phone because I feel like that's all they're gonna do.
Yeah.
Mom, I need you.
Oh, for
I need
sure.
you.
Phones.
Come.
Wait, okay, because we have to wrap. I just want to know, what do you feel like you learned the most on your trip? Like either about you, your relationship, or just in general. Like what do you think your biggest like takeaway was?
God loves me.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like,
that's beautiful.
yeah, I felt very seen and felt, and yeah, I feel like that's like the root of all of it.
really
Okay,
beautiful.
lesson.
And that God is real.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm telling you, go to Thailand.
Yes.
I'm going back every year.
Really?
Yes, I
I'm
want to
going
go
with you.
back. My goal when I was there is I want to go back twice a year. One, just like by myself and with Brian, and maybe the kids will come, but I have to bring my mom so I can like clock in and clock out. And then I also want to do a women's retreat there because I was like, that place is too amazing.
I love that. I'm really happy that you had that trip. Me too. I love seeing you happy, Fee. It's my favorite category. Happy Fee. Happy Fee. Well, I'm glad you're back because we missed you.
Miss you guys too. A lot.
Oh, love you.
Love you too.
Long time.
Bye.